Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandy Grace. Today's video requires several explanations, so let's get into it. Explanation number one, if you aren't already aware of this for some reason, my reading goal for 2021 is to get through all of my books I physically own but have not read, and also a handful of borrowed books over there. I don't really know what you're looking at, but there's borrowed books over there. And then the books that I own but haven't read, and also these books, because I'm trying to do one writing craft book every single month. So that is my reading stuff, and I told myself I can't buy any books in 2021 other than the ones that I did in January, but no books in 2021. There will be no book hauls because I have to get through all of this. So that's the first explanation. So the first book haul this year, my January one, I think I labeled it as like the one and only book haul of 2021. And yet here we are again with a second book haul. Only a month later. This is not my fault, you guys. I did not buy any books, so I didn't really break any of my rules. This brings me to explanation number two. I love Jane Austen. I grew up reading Jane Austen because my mom had this gorgeous, like, all-in-one volume thing, which is where I first read them, and I read that giant volume several times. It was delightful. It was wonderful. And I had all 6 of her books that she published while living, and then it also had one that was published after her death, which actually turned out to be my favorite one, and that's Lady Susan, because I love that book. But anyway, point being, I've read all of her works multiple times, and I've watched all of the movies and miniseries. I've seen the 2005 one with Keira Knightley, and the 1995 miniseries with Colin Firth, and like the 89 BBC miniseries, which I've seen a couple times. I'm not as fond of that one. Also that movie from like the 40s or 50s that's black and white and very not book accurate at all, but it has Laurence Olivier as Mr. Darcy, so it's totally worth watching. I have several, let's see. We've got these 4 beauties here. We also have a second, you see Pride and Prejudice here in this ugly yellow. We have a second Pride and Prejudice hiding over here in red, which looks much better. We have this beautiful, there's a watermark on my camera. 'Tis unfortunate. We'll have to fix that at some point. I have the complete novels of Jane Austen, which is not a pretty version like my mom's. It's just red. So there you go. And it only has the 6 books. It does not have Lady Susan. So, this brings me to Christmas of 2020. I got Lady Susan and Mansfield Park. Completely different, gorgeous covers that I did not have previously, and I didn't own either of the books, so that put my collection at 7. It's all 7 of them. It's marvelous, and I love it. Not exactly match, but that's not important. I kind of, this will take a long time and take a lot of space, but I kind of want to own all of the editions and covers at some point. But anyway, we're moving on to today's book haul because it's related to those books I got for Christmas from my eldest brother and his fiance. Because I just was delivered a random box today from those 2 lovely people with more books. Random because it's not Christmas or my birthday, which is in 8 months. It's just books. So the books is the rest of the Jane Austen works, all the ones that I have up there in those, I don't know how to describe them, but you know, those the ones that I just showed you. We got Persuasion, we got Sense and Sensibility, Northanger Abbey, Emma, and Pride and Prejudice. And aren't they just the most beautiful, gorgeous covers imaginable? I love these covers. These covers are amazing. But now I've got all 7, and then 4 again. This is why I just need all of them, okay? I just need all of them, including the pretty, like, all-in-one sets that I've seen. But anyway, we've got all of these, which I'm very excited about, and it's like the complete set in these gorgeous covers, which is great. But there's more. And this one confused me. So, when I first pulled out this lovely Love and Friendship by Jane Austen, I didn't really question it, because recently, when I say recently, I mean like in the last 10 years. I don't remember. It was like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe? I don't know. There was a movie made about Lady Susan, which is my favorite Jane Austen, and the movie about, one second, I had to collect my books from up top. Anyway, the movie about this one, Lady Susan, is called Love and Friendship, and I had never heard of Love and Friendship, so I just assumed that they had renamed Lady Susan, because that's not a catchy title. So when they made Lady Susan the movie, you know, they just redubbed it something else. And then I just got this book today called Love and Friendship. So apparently it is actually a Jane Austen thing, but it's not Lady Susan, which confuses me, because why would you name a movie based off of one Jane Austen work the name of a different Jane Austen work? I'm confused. I need to read this and figure out what on earth is happening, because this doesn't make any sense. And I opened it up to see like the table of contents where it discusses like what's in it, and it is letters, in which Lady Susan is written in letter format, so it's similar, but it's not the same names of characters. So I don't know if this is like a previous version of Lady Susan, or if this is like a completely different story and they just used the wrong name when they made the movie, or if they incorporated both of them and I just didn't notice because I didn't know this one was a thing. So I need to read this and reread my favorite story and then watch the movie and see. Because I've seen the movie several times. It was delightful, and it was this story. I'm confused, you guys, but this also brings me to another thing. These books aren't necessarily going on my TBR stack over there, because I have read all of Jane Austen's works, other than this thing, apparently. Yeah, many times. Many times. So they don't need to be on my thing. This one has to be over there, because I haven't read it yet, and also now I have to investigate it, so it has to be over there, and has to be near the top. And then there's more. There's a memoir of Jane Austen. I haven't read this, so definitely reading this. And there's more. The letters of Jane Austen, which I don't believe I've read these either. So I have 3 books that actually do have to go onto my giant TBR, which is going to make things difficult, particularly this month, because I've only read 1 book so far this month because it was massive, and I am very behind on the 4.5 books that I have to read every month, and now I'm adding 3 more books to the amount of books that I have to read in the whole year. So this is going to get a little crazy. But anyway, that is the book haul of crazy things. I love that they felt the need to like finish out the books and do all of them, so I have the whole set in these gorgeous matchy colors. I did not know that these last 3 on the end were going to be a thing, so that's super exciting, and I love that, and I have to know what is going on with Love and Friendship, because I'm confused. It's not Lady Susan, but the movie is. What is happening?